In the words of the Zen master Shunryu Suzuki, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of Zen teachings, where the practice of emptying the mind is deeply revered. Picture a vast open sky, unblemished by a single cloud. This expansive emptiness is not a void, but rather a space brimming with potential, much like our minds when we embrace the Zen practice of mental emptiness. It's an invitation to relinquish preconceived notions, judgments, and incessant thoughts, making room for the boundless possibilities of the present moment. The philosophy of Zen encourages us to adopt the mindset of a beginner, a perspective that is open, curious, and unburdened by expertise. The beginner's mind, or Shoshin as it is known in Zen Buddhism, is a state of receptivity that allows for true understanding and insight. It's a fertile ground where seeds of wisdom can take root and flourish. The practice of emptying the mind, however, does not imply a state of thoughtlessness or lack of awareness. On the contrary, it is about cultivating a heightened sense of awareness, a crystal-clear mindfulness that illuminates our inner world and the world around us. It's about silencing the noise of our thoughts to hear the symphony of existence, to experience life in its purest form. This concept might seem elusive or even paradoxical, but its power cannot be underestimated. By emptying our minds, we're not creating a void, but rather inviting a sense of peace and clarity. We're letting go of the clutter that often clouds our judgment, distorts our perception, and hinders our ability to truly see. As the Zen proverb goes, it is the silence between the notes that makes the music. Similarly, it is the silence of our minds, the state of emptiness, that allows for the beautiful symphony of life to be heard, appreciated, and experienced fully. As we delve into the story of Empty Your Mind, consider how you can apply this principle in your own life. The journey may not be easy, but the rewards are profound. Embrace the Zen of emptiness and uncover the unlimited potential that lies within you. Once upon a time, in a distant land, a renowned scholar sought the wisdom of a Zen master. Our story begins in a place far removed from the hustle and bustle of modern life, a place where ancient traditions held sway and wisdom was revered above all else. In this world there lived a scholar, a man of letters and learning, whose thirst for knowledge was as vast as the ocean. Distinguished and highly regarded, the scholar had dedicated his entire life to the pursuit of knowledge. He was a walking encyclopedia, a repository of facts, theories, and philosophies. Yet despite his vast learning, there was something he felt was missing, a kind of wisdom that seemed to elude him. So he set out on a journey, a quest if you will, to seek the wisdom of a Zen master, who was known far and wide for his profound understanding of life and the universe. A figure of intrigue and reverence, the Zen master lived in a humble abode high up in the mountains, away from the trappings of the world. The scholar, with a sense of entitlement that only years of accolades could foster, approached the Zen master with an air of arrogance. He believed himself to be superior in knowledge, thinking that he could challenge the master's wisdom with his own intellectual prowess. He carried with him his preconceived notions and beliefs, ready to debate and argue to prove his intellectual superiority. But the Zen master was no ordinary man. He had spent years in silence and meditation, observing the world, understanding the rhythm of life. He had a different kind of wisdom, one that came from emptying the mind, not filling it. He saw in the scholar's arrogance a mind filled to the brim, with no room for new ideas or perspectives. The scholar, eager to engage in intellectual discourse, was ready to impress the master with his knowledge. He was certain that he would walk away from this encounter with yet another feather in his cap, another testament to his intellectual prowess. But the Zen master had a different lesson in mind. The Zen master invited the scholar for tea. As he poured the tea into the scholar's cup, the master began to fill the scholar's cup, but he did not stop when the cup was full. The tea overflowed, spilling onto the table, yet the master continued to pour. The scholar watched in bewilderment, finally exclaiming, "Stop! The cup is full, no more will go in." The Zen master paused, placing the teapot down. He looked at the scholar with a calm and steady gaze, then spoke. "Just like this cup," the master began, "you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your mind?" The scholar, a man of intellect and reason, found himself perplexed. He had spent his life filling his mind with knowledge, believing that understanding was the key to wisdom. But here, the Zen master was suggesting the complete opposite. He was being asked to empty his mind, to make space, to accept the notion that his cup was already full and overflowing. The Zen master explained further, when our mind is full of noise, we miss out on the silence in between. It's in this silence that we find peace, clarity, and true understanding. Emptiness isn't about lack, it's about potential. An empty cup isn't useless, it's ready to be filled. The scholar sat in silence, trying to comprehend the Zen master's words. He'd always thought of emptiness as a state of lack, of not having. But the Zen master was suggesting that emptiness was a state of readiness, of potential, a place where new understanding could flourish. The scholar was left stunned, his mind racing with questions and confusion. This was a lesson he had not expected, a challenge to everything he thought he knew about wisdom and understanding. But as the tea cooled in his still overflowing cup, he began to see the value in what the Zen master was teaching. Perhaps it was time to empty his cup, to make space for new understanding, to find the peace in the silence between the noise. The scholar was left stunned, his mind racing with questions and confusion. The Zen master, seeing the scholar's confusion, explained, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations." What the master was trying to convey here was the concept of emptiness, a fundamental principle in Zen philosophy. Our minds are often like this cup, brimming with thoughts, ideas, judgments, and beliefs. These mental constructs, while they can be useful, often limit our ability to perceive reality as it truly is. You see, when our cup is full, there's no room for anything new. Our preconceived notions cloud our judgment, preventing us from seeing things from a fresh perspective. They act like a filter, distorting our perception of reality. This is why the Zen master emphasized the importance of emptying our minds. Emptiness, in this context, doesn't mean a state of nothingness or void. Rather, it refers to a state of openness and receptivity, free from the constraints of our preconceived notions and beliefs. It's about letting go of what we think we know, to make space for what we can learn. This principle is not about discarding knowledge or becoming ignorant. It's about cultivating a beginner's mind, a state of curiosity and openness to new experiences and ideas. It's about acknowledging that our understanding of the world is limited and always subject to change. The Zen master's lesson was a call to practice humility, to recognize the limitations of our knowledge, and to remain open to the infinite possibilities of existence. It was about embracing the uncertainty of life and learning to navigate it with an open mind. By emptying our minds, we free ourselves from the chains of our preconceived notions and beliefs. We become more flexible, adaptable, and open to new experiences. We learn to see the world not as we think it is, but as it truly is. We learn to appreciate the beauty of life in all its complexity and mystery. The scholar realized the wisdom of the Zen master's words and vowed to empty his mind. In doing so, he embarked on a path to enlightenment, a journey of self-discovery and growth. The path may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. As the scholar journeyed back home, he pondered on the Zen master's teachings. His mind, once filled to the brim with scholarly knowledge, now held a new kind of wisdom. A wisdom that was not about accumulation, but about letting go. He realized, as we all should, that the mind, like a cup, can only hold so much. To learn new things, to grow, we need to first empty our minds of preconceived notions and biases. Now, you might be wondering, how can we apply this Zen philosophy to our everyday lives? Well, it starts with the understanding that our minds are not static but dynamic. They are not vessels to be filled, but fires to be kindled. Firstly, it's important to cultivate mindfulness, to be present in the now. So often, we are trapped in the past or worried about the future, and we miss the beauty of the present moment. By emptying your mind of these distractions, you can truly experience the world around you. Secondly, practice acceptance. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It means understanding that the world is as it is, not as we want it to be. By emptying your mind of expectations and judgments, you can see things as they truly are, not as you wish them to be. Thirdly, cultivate compassion. Compassion begins with understanding, and understanding begins with listening. By emptying your mind of prejudice and assumptions, you open yourself up to truly hear and understand others. Lastly, remember that the journey to enlightenment is a journey, not a destination. It's not about reaching a state of perfection, but about continually striving to improve, to learn, to grow. Remember, like the teacup, our minds work best when they are empty, ready to receive the wisdom of the world. So empty your mind and see the possibilities unfold. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel.